Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Superstars of Wrestling Review Series. June 5th, 1993 is our episode this week, or this episode anyway. Papashango against Bret Hart opens us, and we see Papashango burning a Bret Hart 8x10 photo on the overhead, or I guess what would later become the Titantron. Moments before entering the ring, of course, these guys have wrestled before in 1992, right around within a month or so after Bret won the championship. So it's not as though they've never worked before. Bret is literally a week and a day, 8 days away from becoming the king of the ring. That is the 13th of June 1993. Pretty much, Papashango lights him up early, punches, kicks, the basic stuff, and then a miss to the corner. Bret slides over the back, roll up attempt. Shango actually takes the majority of the match. Shango holds on to the rope and then takes Bret down. Actually, they give these guys a good bit of time. Shango manages to hold on to a nerve hold, bites Bret in the corner, tries to choke him out with the bottom foot, all that and so much more. And then the sunset flip attempt by Hart. They go to a commercial break. They come back. Proof that they go to commercial breaks even in 1993. I've never understood the concept of going to a break. I could see going to a break during an entrance. I can see going to a break during a long interview. But going to a break during a longer match, to me, is insulting to the performers, and I would never book a TV that would go that way. Anyway, then you see kind of the headbutt drop and all that. Papashango wants to use his voodoo stick as a weapon. Referee stops him there. Chokes by Shango, and then some kicks to the top of the head and the like. Longer match than is normal here, which I think in some ways is good. In other ways, with Bret wrestling 4 matches, let's see. Nope, 3 matches in one night at King of the Ring. Is it overkill? That's a good question. Then a drop kick, and then an inverted atomic drop, Russian leg sweep, drops the elbow, and we see Bret get the near fall there. Obviously, Bret at this point using every advantage he can get with the sharpshooter. Bret goes up on the shoulder with Papashango. Shango hits a shoulder breaker, which is usually the finish, but Bret gets out of that. Gets the sharpshooter, gets the win, 1-2-3. Steiner Brothers or not 1-2-3, but a submission victory. Steiner Brothers are playing the Super Nintendo Royal Rumble video game. It's kind of funny just to look back at what video games looked like 27 years ago. Major difference, duh. Head Shrinkers against Tim McNeely and Scott Taylor, both New England level independent guys. Scott Taylor would later become Scotty 2 Hottie, which most everyone knows. They've been around for a while. It's amazing to me, though, to realize that there are fans that were not fans in 2000 when he hit hot, or fans that weren't fans in 2010, or again when I'm looking back at my beginning to not have been a fan in the late 80s. I can't fathom everything that's been missed. So it's just interesting, and that's part of why I do the series, because I want this stuff there for posterity. Yes, it's one man's viewpoint, but it's better than nothing. And so we see the double hair pull, and then head shrinkers with several shots. Back thrust kick by one of the head shrinkers. Afa has started to bring a pineapple with him to the ring. I don't quite know what that's about. Big splash from the top rope by one of the head shrinkers, and they get a victory. Razor Ramon and Bret Hart do the face-to-face interview. Basically, they are plugging their King of the Ring match. That's what's there. They also plug the King of the Ring quite a bit. Hart versus Ramon, Hogan versus Yoko, And Michaels versus Crush is promoted here. We also know now that Jim Duggan is facing Bam Bam Bigelow. He's says he's ready, been working out extra hard for that. Razor Ramon basically says Bret Hart is no challenge to him. He never gave up to the sharpshooter, and he has no fear of Bret. Bret basically says, hey, you've been beaten by a nobody in the 1-2-3 Kid. Why are you in a challenge to me? And that's what's there. The 1-2-3 Kid thing has happened on Raw. We're gonna see that unfold in the next little while here. Then we move to Kamala and Phil Apollo. Kamala still managed by Slick, which is I don't know, a pairing that worked for a time, but I don't know that it actually did anything for him. Apollo manages to take a few shots, doesn't really get very far. And then, the Irish whip into the corner. Big splash in the corner by Kamala. Kamala manages to get the big splash not in the corner, flip him over, 1, 2, 3. Really simple match there. And again, Kamala gone within a matter of months here. Razor Ramon is rejected by the 1-2-3 Kid. Razor had offered him $2,500 to get back in the ring. Kid cites the fact that it's dangerous. He doesn't want to risk it. He has kids, family, and other things he wants to do. He wants to maintain his win on Raw and go off into the sunset pretty much. Jason Knight against Lex Luger is your next match. Jason Knight, of course, a mainstay in ECW for several years, starting around 97 through the end of the run of the company, or pretty close to it. And so that's kind of a big thing there. Luger still doing the narcissist gimmick, although not that much longer. By July, we will see that go. So about a month away from his transformation, which most people know about, but we'll get there when we get there. Anyway, roll-up attempt by Knight and doesn't really get very far. They're kind of slower in this match. Luger with a few forearms, punches, and the like basic stuff. And then we see Knight actually get a dropkick. I think it's one of the few dropkicks I've ever seen him pull off. Jason Knight, just not my type of guy. He'd been in ECW earlier as well, 93, 94-ish, while doing enhancement work for WWE as well. So that is there. And then, a back elbow by Luger. Luger continuing to prance around and actually gets a 1-foot pinfall after the use of the illegal forearm. Randy Savage does basically a public service announcement from the local New York schools. Kids need to stay in school, stay off drugs, believe in themselves, that sort of thing. Basically doing the type of work that Hogan would do if he were still with the company, but also Savage really a good guy with Make-A-Wish. He was a good guy with Special Olympics. I know that he was the main supporter in the WWE at the time in terms of going to Special Olympic fundraising events and all of that. I missed the opportunity to get to meet him when he came to a Special Olympics meet in Connecticut. I had some friends growing up that were fundraisers and organizers for the organization, and I just wasn't able to get a ride, but would have liked to have met the Macho Man back in the day. Anyway, Russ Greenberg against Mr. Hughes. Hughes still hasn't found his main storyline yet. That's literally weeks away from changing. Hughes hits a big power bomb, almost akin to something that like a Kevin Nash would hit a few months later, and then a cross-body attempt by Greenberg. Hughes goes straight to the backbreaker, dominates the Kid, and really does kind of assert his extra power clothesline. And Hughes pretty much has very little in his way. Hits the modified choke slam, and away we go. Then we move to King of the Ring report. Hogan and Yoko both doing promos. Hogan basically saying he's doing it for his family, his fans, and anyone who and the country. Yoko through Mr. Fuji basically saying he has been maligned, but he's going to get the championship back. He has no doubt, no fear. Kuratankas and Wolf versus the Smoking Guns. Smoking Guns once again, Billy and Bart Gunn, who have been pretty major, a major signing in the time of '93. At the time, they were working an independent in Florida that was trying to get television. Never really went too far. I think they did do some TV tapings, but the IWF never went terribly far. I don't even know if there's footage of that organization online anywhere all these years later. But anyhow, Billy and Bart are a mainstay tag team wise for the next 3-ish years, something like that. And a, you know, series of hip tosses, arm drags, and the like, real basic stuff by Bart. Good tag offs between he and Billy, drop kick by Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn manages to, be pretty aggressive and assertive. Double Russian leg sweep there. And Cantankerous turns around, goes back, tags his partner. Again, we see continued double team maneuvers by the Guns, and that modified pile driver double team by the Guns for the victory. Then we go to a face-off between Shawn Michaels and Crush. Michaels is not your Intercontinental Champion at the moment, although that changes, I believe, the actual next day after this takes place. And, Shawn says he's still one of the best people in the world. The distraction from, the Marty Jannetty thing has him thrown off a bit. Mr. Perfect also in this says that he is ready for Mr. Hughes, and he's going to not need to call him Mr. He can just call him Perfect. But anyway, that will close us for today. We'll be back with more right after this.